guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm just going to be giving you a short and sweet tutorial on how to make this really cute quote-unquote date night cozy sweater. It has a twist in the front, so of course if you want to see how I do it and get the kind of foundation to do your own, then keep watching. With this Stitch Studio yarn that I got from AC Moore, and I did use all of it, and I'm just going to start off with a slip knot, and for my size I'm going to chain 45. If you are making this for someone smaller, you might want to do less than that. If you're making it for yourself or someone bigger, you want to do more than that. Of course, you can kind of just take the stitch and draw it from your side to your side to see how long it needs to be. But I'm just going to turn that stitch or that chain of 45, turn my work, and double crochet all the way back 45 again. And then you just want to keep doing that and keep doing that to get the back of the sweater. So once you've done that back and forth, however many amount of times that you want to do it to get the back of your sweater, you just want to go ahead and create the sleeve that'll come up over your shoulder if you don't want it to be off the shoulder. And what I regret looking in hindsight is not having my sleeve wide enough. So you can just double crochet back the opposite way. I would say somewhere between 9 to 10 times. So I'm just going the opposite way, and I'm gonna go to the left 10 times, but then I'm gonna go back 9 times. Then once I'm done the 9, I'm going to go back the opposite way to the left 8 times, and then I'm going to go back to the right 7 times to kind of create the triangular shape that our sleeves generally have. And it'll make sense as the video goes along and you get to see how it all pans out. So now once your back is finished, you just want to start on the front of the sweater and take another slip knot. And if you chain 45 like I did for the back, you just want to add 10 more to that. So for the front, because we're twisting it, you want to have a little bit more room. So you could do 55. So just chain that, continue to work back and forth until you have the same size square, I would say, as you did for the back. And then you should have something like this. Okay guys, so I need to change my lens because for this one I can't like zoom in and zoom out, but as you can see I have the back and the front almost finished, and I have it twisted now into this little shape, and I'm kind of nervous because I don't know, I think it might be a little bit baggy on me, which is fine because that's how the girl had it in the picture. But let me just lay it down so you can see. Okay, so if I take it and I do this and I untwist it, it goes back to being like a regular sweater. But then if I twist it, so the bottom part is gonna go to the top on this side only, and this is gonna stay how it was. So I'm just trying to get it to where, of course, these ends meet, and then I can get this all the way so you can see. So let me change this lens and then I'll be right back. So here you can see that as I was mentioning, I need to get it to where this goes all the way to the top, and I can create this little sleeve part right here to go over my shoulder, and then this part stays down and these ends also meet, so I can have a full top, and then my arm will come out here and my arm will come out here, and we'll have the sleeve, and this will just be crisscross in the middle. So just to try to gauge how far I have to go, still about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, which isn't that bad. I think I'll be done this today or tomorrow, depending on how much effort I want to put into it. But I am almost finished, so yes. Okay, so again, this is what I have. So let me bring this down so you can get a closer look. Okay, so here I have the front and the back, and then this shoulder piece in the back done, this shoulder piece in the front done, the shoulder piece in the back done. Here we are not going to put this shoulder piece here to connect to this. Instead, you are going to bring this piece that sits at the bottom. You are going to take this piece and put it up like this. Now you might have to sew, which I think I am going to do. Sew this part, sew this together first. And just a quick reminder, if you are using a different color way than I am, you want to just be reminded that if you sew it on this side, you're going to want to flip it inside out so that your seam won't show. So if I sew it this way, the color that the people will see, however you wear it, will be this way, and your seam will be in the inside like that. So I would recommend to go ahead and sew these two pieces together right here, and then it might be easier for you to work that side, so you can kind of twist it and then work at the top. So we're almost done. As I mentioned, I want you to sew one side of the sweater together so it will be easier, but you want to make sure not to sew all the way to the top so your arm has somewhere to go. And then once you finish that, you kind of just want to secure the yarn. And then we're going to snip all of the loose ends at the end of the sweater and the end of the video. So I'm just securing that piece of yarn that I just snipped. And if you guys have any questions, I'm always available, so just leave them down in the comments below. But now you just want to sew the top of the sleeves together. I'm a neat freak and a perfectionist sometimes, so I just want to make sure that I'm securing that as secure as it can possibly be. So yeah, now you could go ahead and take your needle and sew the top of your sweater together, the top of the sleeves. And as I mentioned, I would have liked for this to come up on my shoulder a little bit more, but if you want to wear off the shoulder, you can do a shorter sleeve if you would like. And if you are new to my channel or you just found this video searching, I'm so sorry, but I am not good with numbers. My regular people know that I did not learn how to crochet by reading patterns. I pretty much just learned by looking at something and saying, hey, I want to make that. So that's the way that I go about teaching. I just want to give you the foundations to be able to make this for yourself, not make it the size that I'm making it or make it the exact way that I say to do it. So now that that side is sewn together, you want to go ahead and twist the side the way that we're going to actually do it. And then you can start at the top and do your sleeve. So start with your double crochet on the end and then work back and forth, back and forth. I would say no more than or no less than 8 times. So you can start in the middle and then work your way across and then keep going back and forth until it is relatively the same size. And then once you have the top portion done for that part of the sleeve, you could just sew the left side of the sweater together the same way you did with the right side of the sweater. And make sure you have the twist in the front. Okay, so now we are going to start on the sleeve. So I'm just taking my hook in the same color yarn, of course, and I'm just going to chain, say 13. Then I'm going to turn my work and half double crochet into the back loop of every stitch, and I'll show you how to do that. So this is what it looks like to turn your work. And I don't think I showed this in the other video, but basically you just want to wrap your yarn around, and then for this the beginning of the sleeve, I am going into the back chain only. So I'm only going into 1 instead of what we would normally do, which is go into 2. So you just want to go no matter what you're doing, you just want to go into the first chain, not the first chain away from the hook, which would be the second chain, but you just want to go into the first one. And here I'm only going into the back to give me kind of a ribbed look, so I'm just going into one and doing my half double crochet, and I'm just going to do that all the way across. And then once I get here, I'm going to turn and keep working my half double crochet again. So I'm just going to half double crochet all the way around into the back stitch or the back loop for the beginning of the sleeve. Okay, so now that you have done that between 17 and 18 times, it should be large enough to wrap around your wrist, not too small either. So I'm just going to connect both ends, whether you do that with a stitching needle or your crochet hook. I just do it by inserting my hook to the front all the way to the back and then bringing it through with some yarn, kind of like a slip stitch, to connect the front and the back. Then you want to flip that bad boy inside out, and this will give you the bottom of the sleeve. And then we're just going to work our way all the way around, and I did 25 double crochets all the way around. And you are going to obviously have to go in with 2 double crochets, possibly into the same stitch, but you want to do 25 all the way around and just keep going all the way up the sleeve. So then if you do that 2 times, of course you will have 2 sleeves, and it's time to just make it a masterpiece. You want to flip it inside out and then sew that sleeve onto the actual sweater. And make sure you're not going in too deep with your needle, because then it might be too tight and your arm won't fit, or it'll just look really weird and your seams won't be straight. So just make sure you're sewing right at the edge of the sweater and the sleeve. And then once you flip it inside out, of course you should have something like this. As I mentioned, I just want to give you the foundations. If you need a pattern, let me know. But this is how it ended up looking on me, and I love it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.